Dr. P.R. Jayashree, Assistant Professor, Department of Statistics, Presidency College, Chennai. P.R. Jayashree has done her PhD from Anna University and MBA from Alagappa University. She passed joint CSIR, UGC, National Level Test for JRF and Eligibility Test for Lectureship in Mathematical Sciences. Has also done her postgraduate diploma in Computer Management. She has 17 years of experience in teaching and published 14 research papers in international and national level. Has presented, participated and organized conferences, workshops on SPSS and Torah software. She is a life member of Tamil Nadu Statistical Association and Indian Society for Probability and Statistics. At present, she is guiding 2 research students of Madras University.
Welcome to UGC lecture series on mathematical sciences. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the chi-square test under hypothesis testing. Today, we are going to see about inferential statistics, testing of hypothesis, chi-square distribution and what we mean by non-parametric test and test under the chi-square distribution, that is chi-square test for homogeneity, goodness of fit, independence of attributes and some illustrations regarding all these tests. So, what is the procedure for any hypothesis testing? The first step is to frame the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. So, we have already seen in my previous lectures what this hypothesis means. It is nothing but the assumption about the population, and we have to frame the null hypothesis and the alternative to the null hypothesis, which we call it as the alternative hypothesis. Then based on this hypothesis, we need to frame the test statistic. So, after framing the test statistic, we need to calculate the calculated value from the test statistic, and we need to compare that with the table value corresponding to the sampling distribution in which we are posing our hypothesis. So, based on the calculated value and the table value, we need to make inferences. That is, if the calculated value is less than the table value, then accept the hypothesis, otherwise reject it. So, what is chi-square distribution? Any standard normal deviate is a random sample from the standard normal distribution. So, we all know what is standard normal distribution. It is nothing but standardizing the normal distribution, that is taking the random variable x minus the mean divided by the standard error. So, what is chi-square distribution is the distribution of the sum of squared of these standard normal deviates, and the degree of freedom of the distribution is equivalent to the number of normal variates being summed. So, therefore, if you want to denote the chi-square, we have to denote it like this, and with 1 degree of freedom. So, whatever the degree of freedom we are dealing with the chi-square distribution, we have to write it here. So, this is chi-square distribution with 1 degree of freedom. That means the distribution of a single normal deviate being squared. So, what is this non-parametric test? So, we have 2 types of test which we call it as a parametric test and the non-parametric test. Parameter means about the population constants. So, if you know about the distribution of the data or the distribution of the test, then we call that as a parametric test. That is, if you know the mean, variances, etc., and if you know the distribution of the data, then we call that as a parametric. If you do not know the data coming from the normal distribution, then we call that as the non-parametric test. So, it is useful under the following condition. The one is the nature of the population distribution from which the samples are drawn is not known. So, we do not know the distribution of the data, then we call that as a non-parametric test, or if it is not normal also we call that as a non-parametric test. So, what variables we use in normally in non-parametric test is the nominal form. So, nominal means we are classifying into categories, that is it will be in terms of frequency or in terms of the counts. That is, the ordinal form will be, or it can be in the ordinal form, which we call it as ranked in order 1, 2, 3, etc. So, if you have a frequency distribution, if you have a frequency type or a count type, then we deal with a non-parametric test. And what we are going to deal with today, the chi-square test, is again a non-parametric test. So, what is this chi-squared statistic? A chi-squared statistic is an overall measure to find out how close the observed and the expected frequency. As I told you, if you are dealing the data with the frequencies, then it is a non-parametric test, and this test statistic deals with the observed and the expected frequencies. So, whatever we observed from the data, we call that as the observed frequencies, and what we do is we generally find an expected frequency based on this observed frequency, and we call that as expected frequencies. So, we have to compare these two O and E, And if you see the chi-squared statistic, it is nothing but summation of OI minus EI the whole square divided by EI, and it follows a chi-square distribution with n minus 1 degree of freedom. So what you have to do is we need to find the expected frequency and find the difference, square the difference divided by the expected frequencies, and this follows a chi-squared with n minus 1 degree of freedom. So after finding the calculated value, this is my statistic, and we need calculated value from this statistic, and we have to compare that with the chi-square distribution with n minus 1 degree of freedom. So chi-square tables are available, and we have to find the table value with n minus 1 degree of freedom. So you need to compare the calculated value with the table value. So if your calculated is less than the table value, accept the null hypothesis, otherwise reject it. So what are the tests under this chi-square test or a non-parametric chi-square test? The first test is test for homogeneity. So homogeneity of the expected value and the observed value. So we are going to see whether the expected values are homogeneous or not. Then we need to go in for a chi-square test for homogeneity. The other one is the goodness of fit test under chi-square test. So here also the same test statistic where you have your OI and EI, and we are going to find whether the fit is good or not. The third one is the independent of attributes, where you have two type of attributes here, and we are going to find whether those two attributes are independent or not, or any association is there between the attributes. So we all know what is an attribute. Attribute is nothing but a characteristic which we cannot measure it directly, something like honesty or IQ, and what we do is we indirectly measure that in terms of marks or scores, etc. So what is that goodness of fit? Goodness of fit is nothing but testing the difference between the observed and the expected frequency, and we are going to find whether the fit is good or not, whether the data has a good fit or not. So as I told you, the chi-squared statistic is always the summation O minus E the whole square divided by E, and O is my observed frequencies, E is my expected frequencies, and we have to find the difference between O minus E the whole square divided by E, and the degree of freedom is n minus 1. So you can fix your level of significance. Level of significance here is 0.05, or it could be a 1% level, that is 0.01. So fix the level of significance. So globally what we do is we fix it as 5% level, and we need to compare that with a calculated value. So after fixing the level of significance, we can find the table value of chi-squared, then compare your calculated value with the table value, accept or reject it based on the whether the calculated is less than the table or greater than the table value. So we will see an illustration how to find this goodness of it. An insurance company which specializes in the motor insurance bases the premium charge partly region of the country in which the owner of the vehicle lives. So the following, I will give you the table now, which shows the number of claims for each region for a random sample of claims in the year 1990 and the percentage distribution of claims in the previous years. Test whether there is any evidence of a significant change in the distribution of claims. So we are going to find whether there is any change in the distribution of claims over that year 1990. So if you see this table, you have the regions A, B, C, D. So there are 5 regions, and you can see the number of claims in each of the region and the percentage of claims in each of these regions. So what we have to do is you have to frame the null hypothesis and the alternative. So what is null for this? There is no evidence, significant evidence in the significant change in the distribution of claims. So there is no significant change in the distribution of claims. That means all are one at the same. And if you see your H1, so it is nothing but there is evidence of significant change in the distribution of claims. So we are going to find whether there is any change in the distribution of claims over all the regions. So as I told you, we have the observed frequency to be 500. That means we need to find the total of all this number of claims, which it comes to be 500. So this is my total observed frequency, and for each of my observed frequency, so if you see here my observed frequency is 59, 119, 67, 167 and 94, and for each of my observed frequency we need to find the expected frequency. So how to find expected frequency is the percentage of claims is given to us. So 10% means 10 by 100 into the total frequency of my observed. So it is nothing but 10 by 100 into 500, which comes to be 50. So similarly you need to find the expected frequency for all these observed frequencies, and we will have the expected as 50, 125, 75, 150 and 100. So we need to compare the observed with the expected frequencies. So, if my observed and the expected frequencies are one and the same, then we can say that the fit is good. So, you have the region here, you have the observed frequencies, expected frequencies. So, find the difference between observed and the expected frequencies, that is O minus E. So, which comes to be 9 minus 6 minus 8 11 and minus 6, and we have to find the O minus E the whole square. So, squaring all these numbers, and then what you have to do is O minus E the whole square divided by my expected frequencies. So, 81 by 50, 36 by 125 gives all this O minus E the whole squared by E. So, we need to take the sum of this, and this is nothing but my calculated value. So, the test statistic says that you have to find the observed minus expected the whole square divided by E, find the sum of all this. We have 3.928 as my calculated value. So, next step is to find the table value. So, what you have to do? We need to find the degree of freedom. So, we have 5 regions here. So, my sample size is 5. So, 5 minus 1 will be 4 degree of freedom, and for 4 degree of freedom, and as I told you, if it is not mentioned, we can take it to be 5% level of significance, and the table value is, we need to find the table value from the chi-square tables, which comes to be 9.48. So, my calculated value here, it is 3.928, and my table value is 9.48. That means it is less than the table value. My calculated is less than the table value. So, we need to accept the hypothesis. So, that means there is no difference in the change in the distribution of change. There is no change in the distribution of claims. So, they are one and the same. So, next comes the test for homogeneity. So, as I told you, the goodness of fit test is based to decide whether the population fits to a given distribution or not. So, we have seen whether the population, so we have taken a sample and we have seen whether it is a good fit or not. But this is not sufficient to compare whether the two population follow the same unknown distribution. So, we have a different type of test which we call it as test for homogeneity. So, which differs from the goodness of fit. Here already the distribution is given to us and we are going to find whether it is a good fit or not. Whereas, in homogeneity we are going to claim whether it is same or not. So, a different test called the test for homogeneity can be used to make a conclusion about whether two populations have the same distribution or not. So, as I told you, we need to frame the null hypothesis H naught and the distributions of the two populations are same. So, whereas your alternative is always the alternative to the null hypothesis, and we have to frame it as the distribution of the two population are not the same. And same test statistic we are going to adopt here, which is chi-squared statistic, and it is as we have done for the goodness of fit, we need to calculate this chi-squared, which is nothing but summation of O minus E the whole square divided by E. So, the same test statistic we are going to deal, but the hypothesis here it is whether the distributions come from the same population or not. So, we have an illustration for this. Suppose that 250 randomly selected male college students and 300 randomly selected female college students were asked about their living conditions. They are staying in a dormitory and an apartment and with parents and others. So, they can also have others here, that means they are not staying in all these conditions. So, do male and female college students have the same distribution of living conditions? So, we are going to find whether the living condition is same for both male and female college students. So, if you see here the data is given to me. So, if you see here, these numbers are nothing but the counts of the frequencies. So, if you want to compare whether there is any difference between the living conditions of male students and the female students here, you need to have the number of respondents in each of my cells. And this table I call it as the contingency table, where you have the column values as well as the row values, and we are going to find whether these two distributions are same or not. So, therefore, if you have a count or a frequency distribution, then we need to follow a chi-squared. So, you cannot have any other test like your t-test or your parametric test, because these are all cell frequencies, which is the counts or the frequencies. So, therefore, we have to adopt a chi-square test for this. So, as I told you, you need to frame the null hypothesis and the alternative. So, what will be my null? The distribution of living conditions for male college students is same as that of the female college students. So, if you see here the null hypothesis, I have seen in certain conditions where they do not know what is the variable. So, here the variable is nothing but the living conditions. You have not mentioned the variable. So, you need to mention the variables. You cannot write there is no difference between male college students and female college students. You need to find the difference only between the variables. So, therefore, my hypothesis here is the distribution of the living conditions, that the variable here is the living condition between male students and the female students. Similarly, the alternative hypothesis is they are not the same. So, it is not the same for male and the female students. The living condition is my variable here. So, these are my observed values where I have observed and I have put it in a form of a table, and I need to find the expected frequency for all these observed frequencies. As I told you, it is very easy. What you have to do is you have to find the row total and the column total. So, row total and column total comes to be 250 and 300, and the column totals are 163, 170, 137 and 80. So, and my grand total is my 550. So, what you need to do is for each of my observed. So, for example, E of 72. So, E of 72, what you have to do is you have to find the observed for this one. You have to find the expected for this one, and the expected comes to be like this. Take the row total and the column total, multiply it and divide it by the grand total. So, 250 into 163 divided by the total will be my expected value of this 72. So, you have to find for each of these values the expected value. So, after finding the expected value, so as I told you, you need to find the O value, E value, and then O minus E the whole square divided by E, and my calculated sum of those differences comes to be 10.13. So, what I have to do? I have to compare this with the table value, and table value here is 3 degree of freedom and 5% level of significance come to be 7.81. So, if the calculated is greater than the table value, reject the null hypothesis. So, therefore, the living conditions for male students and the female are not the same. So, they are not the same for male as well as female. So, homogeneity does not exist here. Therefore, this is the test for homogeneity. The next very important test is the test of independent of attributes. So, as I told you, this attributes is nothing but the characteristics or which cannot be measured directly. So, variables are which we can measure it directly. For example, the number of kilograms of rice or sugar, where you can measure in terms of kilograms, and whereas your attributes are nothing but the characteristics or qualitative characteristics, something like a honesty, intelligence, IQs and all, which we cannot measure it directly. So, what you can do is, if you cannot measure it directly, you can measure it indirectly by having the test score or the marks. So, we are going to test whether any two attributes are independent or not, or whether there is any association between these two attributes. So, if you want to test between two attributes, we have to take the chi-square test. So, here the null hypothesis is defined to be the independence of attributes, or there is no association between two attributes. So, based on the null hypothesis and the alternative, as I told you, the same chi-square statistic we are going to adopt here, and finding the summation of O minus E the whole square divided by E, and then finding the table value, compare and then accept or reject based on your inference. So, we will see an illustration. Suppose we classify the data with respect to two attributes A and B, in which the attributes are classified as M and N group. So, I have the M by N cell frequencies. As I told you, these cell frequencies will have only the counts or the number of respondents. Here you do not have any other data here. We have the cell frequencies or the counts or number of respondents in all my M by N group. So, I denote AI and BJ as the cell frequencies. For each of my A1 and B1, I have one cell frequency, A2 and B2, I have my cell frequency, and this M by N classification I call it as the contingency table. So, as I told you, the null hypothesis for this will be attributes are independent, and the alternative is they are not independent, or there is association between the attributes, and here there is no association between the attributes. So, I told you the procedure, the same procedure we are going to follow, the same statistic for chi-squared, which is nothing but O minus E the whole square divided by E, and how to calculate this we will see with an example, and this follows chi-squared not with n minus 1 degree of freedom, because here we are having m by n contingency table. Therefore, the degree of freedom will differ here as m minus 1 into n minus 1 degree of freedom, where m is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. So, if you are testing for independence of attributes, then my degree of freedom will differ as m minus 1 into n minus 1. So, as I told you, the same procedure for other other testing of hypothesis, if your calculated is less than the table value, accept, otherwise reject it. We will see an illustration for the independent of attributes. So, if you see here, for the following data given below, test whether the hereditary factor influences the occurrence or non-occurrence of diabetic. So, if a person is a diabetic, we want to check whether this diabetic is due to the hereditary or not, or the hereditary is an important factor for diabetic patient or not. So, these two are, if you see here, these two are nothing but the attribute type of data. So, both are characteristic in nature, and we have to find the cell frequencies for these diabetic and hereditary factors. So, if you see here, this 104 patients have diabetic and they are due to hereditary, and the non-diabetic patient is also due to hereditary, and the diabetic with non-hereditary will be 55%. So, if you see in this cell frequencies, these cell frequencies are nothing but the number of respondents or the counts. So, therefore, you cannot have any other test apart from this chi-squared test, and since this is a non-parametric test, these cell counts are very important, and these are nothing but my observed frequencies. So, I have observed, I have taken from the primary data that those who are from diabetic as well as from hereditary. So, 104 patients. So, these number of respondents I have put it in a table, and I call this table as a 2 by 2 contingency table. So, here the number of rows are 2 and the number of columns are 2. So, therefore, this table I call it as a contingency table, and for each of observed frequency I have to find the expected frequencies. So, what is my hypothesis here is the hereditary factor and the person being diabetic or non-diabetic or independent or not. So, whether there is any association between the hereditary factor and the person being diabetic or non-diabetic, I need to consider that as my null hypothesis, and I assume that those two factors, those two attributes are independent. So, my alternative will be they are dependent, that is my hereditary factor and the diabetic, the number of persons those who have diabetic, those two are diabetic and the hereditary factor are dependent in my alternative. So, how to find my expected frequencies? So, as I told you, for each of my rows and each of my columns, I need to find the row totals and the column totals. So, for each of the row totals and the column totals, I have to find the expected frequencies. So, I have given you the formula. The E is nothing but AI into Bj divided by capital N, and my E is nothing but expected frequency, and for each of my observed, I have to find the expected frequencies. So, AI is nothing but the row total of the row containing the cell, and Bj's are nothing but the column total. So, these AI and Bj's are nothing but the total of my rows and the columns, and capital N is my grand total, which is the total of all rows and total of all columns. So, that will be equal. So, if you see here in this example, you have to add 104 plus 101, 55 plus 227, 104 plus 55 and 101 plus 227. So, find all the row totals and the column totals as well as the grand total. So, if you see here, my OIs and EIs, the total will be the same for both OI and EI. So, OIs are 104, 101, 55 and 227, and how to find this 67 is, you have to find this total, row total here and the column total here, multiply the row total with the column total divided by the grand total, and then you have to find the expected frequencies. So, the expected frequencies comes to be 67, 138, 92 and 90. So, the next step is to find the difference between OI and EI, find all the differences and then find the squares of the differences, that is OI minus EI the whole square, and then divided by my expected frequency. So, each of my expected frequency I need to divide it here, so that I get my OI minus EI the whole square divided by EI values to be here. So, 20.4, 9.1 etc. and I need to find the sum of this summation of OI minus EI the whole squared by EI, because my chi-square statistic says that it is a sum of my OI minus EI the whole square divided by EI, and this value, this 52.4 is nothing but my chi-square calculated value. This one is nothing but my calculated value, and how to find the table values? I need to find the chi-squared tables for m minus 1. Actually this test statistic follows chi-square to the n minus 1 degree of freedom, but as this one is a attribute type of test, we have the number of rows and the number of columns to be 2 here, and therefore my degree of freedom here will be m minus 1 into n minus 1, which comes to be 2 minus 1 and 2 minus 1 degree of freedom. So what you have to do is you have to take the chi-square tables, see for 1 degree of freedom at 5% level of significance. It comes out to be 3.841. So table value here it is 3.8 and the calculated value is 52.4. So if you are comparing these two, you see that the calculated value is very larger than the table value. So that means we are going to reject the null hypothesis. And so if you are rejecting means what? We are going to say that the hereditary factors and the factor diabetic both are associated. That means the hereditary factor influences the occurrence of diabetics in a person. This says that this is one of the important factor for any diabetic. There are so many other factors also for a diabetic patient, and we have seen from this test, the chi-square test, that there is association with the hereditary and a diabetic person. So we conclude this lecture by saying what we have seen in this lecture is, we have seen what we meant by the inferential statistics. So inferential is nothing but what we are going to infer from the test of hypothesis. So we have two types here, descriptive and inferential statistics. Descriptive gives only the estimation part, whereas after we estimated we need to test all these estimates. So as we have seen in this lecture that we have estimated the expected value, we compare and then we accept or reject the hypothesis. Under the inferential statistic we have testing of hypothesis. We have seen what procedure to be followed for testing of hypothesis, and we have seen what is a chi-square test under this testing of hypothesis, and this chi-squared is nothing but a non-parametric test, and this non-parametric, why we have chosen a non-parametric is we are not going to deal with any parameters or population constants here. So therefore we are going to deal only with the counts or the frequencies, therefore we call that as a non-parametric test. And under the non-parametric chi-squared we have seen three types of test. One we call it as a test for homogeneity, test for goodness of fit, and test for independence of attributes. So apart from these two tests, the third one is very important, because we are dealing with the attribute type of data or the qualitative type of data. So if you are dealing with any qualitative type of data, and if you are going to test the qualitative type of data, generally we will take it as a non-parametric test, and under that we are going we have dealt with a chi-square test, and we have seen some illustrations regarding all these type of tests. Now I am going to give you an assignment to deal with a chi-square test. So you need to find out what type of test. We have seen three types here. One is a homogeneity, goodness of fit, and the independent of attributes. You have to check what type of test we are going to deal with this in this problem, and then you apply that one. The assignment here is two groups of 100 people each were taken for testing the use of vaccine. 15 persons contracted the disease out of inoculated person, while 25 contracted the disease in the other groups, that means not inoculated. Test the efficiency of the vaccine using chi-square test. So we are going to see whether this vaccine is effective or not. So if you are going to deal with one, definitely this one is a third type of test, where this is an attribute, and we are going to test the inoculated person with the vaccine. So whether the inoculated person the vaccine is effective or not, for non-inoculated person whether the vaccine is effective or not. So that means we are going to adopt a attribute type of test in this, and the attribute type of test is a third type of test. If you want a attribute type of test, you need to form a contingency table, and the contingency table will be here a 2 by 2 contingency table. So form a 2 by 2 contingency table and find the expected and the observed frequencies, and then based on your observed and expected frequencies find the chi-square table value at m minus 1 into n minus 1 degree of freedom, then accept or reject the hypothesis, that is whether the vaccine is effective or not. Thank you.